Hello, my name is Yonis. In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use Revit in order to create your first house. Now, in the previous video tutorial, we learned how to download and install and register Revit for free as students or as teachers, educators. So this video tutorial is going to be a simple video tutorial which will enable you to create a simple house. To get started, we need to click on New. Select from the drop-down list here, select Construction Template. Make sure the project option is selected and then click OK. The next thing we need to do is go to File, select Save As, and then select Save Project. And save the project as my first Revit project, and then we'll click OK. Alright, once the project is created and you basically save the project, before we get started, we need to fix something that most of the people keep forgetting, and as a result, they're losing loads of work. So if we go to the File menu and select the Options, make sure that the Save Reminder Interval is set to 15 minutes. And the Synchronize with Central Reminder Interval is set to 15 minutes as well. And then click OK. Autodesk and Revit in more particular, it doesn't save things automatically. So we need to make sure that we keep having the reminders. Otherwise, you might be spending 2 hours, 3 hours on a project, and then suddenly there's a power cut or the batteries run out on your laptop or on your tablet. And then you lose all your work. So we don't want this to happen. So to start with, Revit is quite overwhelming. We have lots of menus here, we have lots of panels, and each panel here will have lots of different tools, contains different tools. So here's the build panel, here's the circulation panel, here's the model panel. So it's quite overwhelming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically start constructing something, and as I go along, you will be able to actually get used to it and introduced to each individual tool, and as a result, you will familiarize yourself and you will know exactly what it does. If I go through based on theory and explain every single tool, by the time I finish this video tutorial, if you have not fallen asleep, you're most likely to forget most of the tools there anyway. Next thing I need to discuss is the properties panel. So basically, once we select an object from all these tools that we have, once we apply an object into our stage here, into our level, we will be able to select this object, and then this object will have its own properties. So through the properties panel, we can actually change the properties for each object. For example, the width, the height, so the size in general, the colors, the materials, etc., etc. We have also the project browser panel here. The project browser panel here is the hierarchy basically. It allows us to basically select the levels and basically select the different views. And based on the different views, we can actually see different properties as well. Again, as I go along, I will cover all these elements. So I'm just going to click on the level 0 for now. And to get started, we need to add a floor. So I'm going to click here on the drop-down list. I'm going to select Architectural Floor. And when I do that, I will be redirected to the Modify menus. So within the Modify menu, we have a number of different panels. And one of the panels that we have is the Draw panel. Here I will be able to actually apply a square box for the floor. So if I click here on the polygon once, and then click once in the center, just click once and release the left click on your mouse, and then by clicking and dragging and basically rotating, I will be able to actually see and basically add the size of my floor. Once I'm happy with that, I will be able to click again to basically register the size. Once I have registered the size, I can actually always modify this polygon by using the Modify tool, selecting one of the corners here. As you can see the little dot here. If I click and drag this inwards, I will be able to basically do this, and I'm going to select this one here. I will be able to do this and basically reconnect them. Now I'm just going to undo this So let's click on do twice, okay, to go back to normal. Now what I also can do is with the modify tool selected, I can click and drag downwards. And as you can see, basically, that everything else is attached to this line is basically moved as well. So if I go back up, it goes like that. If I go down, then I can actually modify every single side of my polygon until I'm happy. All right. So I created now a shape, and this shape will be my floor. Now I'm happy with this size. I'm just going to click the green icon which says finished edit mode. Now I've done this. If I go now, select the little house option here, default 3D view, I've got now two panels. I've got the level 0 panel and I've got the 3D panel. Now the 3D panel enables me to actually see my platform, the floor, as a 3D object. Now here on the top right corner, I will be able to click and drag to basically change and rotate the view of my floor. If I hold the shift key down, my mouse cursor has a little minus icon. When you see this, then right click and drag. And as you right click and drag, you will be able to see the mouse cursor changes to basically arrows going to the left and arrow going to the right, which indicates that I can actually move the object around. Okay. So now we know this. The next thing we need to do is, I'm just going to click here top so I can actually see the floor as omnipresent from the top. The next thing we need to do is basically add the walls. So I'm just going to click on the walls and then select architectural wall. Once I select the architectural wall, again, I'm going to be prompt to I will be redirected to the modify panel again, menu, and then one of the panels is the draw panel, which we used earlier, and here I could still use the polygon tool again. And by clicking in the center and then dragging with the mouse cursor, I'm going to click once more to register my shape. So I've created the building. Now this side of the building sticks out of the floor. I'm going to use the modify tool and then click and drag. It's a similar thing that we did with the floor. Okay, so click and drag. So basically you're creating the building the way you want it. And you can customize the size of each side here by going to the property and basically modify all these options. You can modify the length, the area, or you can just click and drag. Now obviously the property panel gives you the opportunity to do things in detail. Alright, so now we've done this. If I use my shift key and the right key click on my mouse and click and drag, I will be able to actually, because I'm on a 3D view, I will be able to actually see that my house, the building I have created, in a 3D mode. Okay. Right, the next thing I need to do is click on the top here again. Now I'm gonna basically use now a new tool, which is on your mouse. Your mouse has a little wheel in the middle, so if you click and drag the wheel on your mouse, you will be able to actually relocate your state. Now if I use the wheel upwards, so I can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, the next thing we need to do is basically add some rooms, create some rooms. So I'm going to go to the architecture menu. Then I'm going to go to the build panel and I'm just going to click on walls. So I'm just going to say architectural walls. But this time I'm going to use the line tool here. Then I'm going to click and drag to basically create the rooms. So I'm just going to put a room there, click and click again. And then I'm going to close the room there. So then I'm going to make another room there, click and click and click and click. Then I'm going to, because I don't want to continue, I'm going to press the escape key on my keyboard. Then I'm going to click again here and click there. Then I'm going to click here click that and click that, and I'm just going to click that, click that. Now I'm going to click here and click that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms. I've got here the corridor. Okay, sorry, 5 rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms. So here I'm going to put the door. So I'm going to go to the architecture, and I'm just going to click once on the door icon and basically bring up, let's go to the level 0, and then I'm just going to put here the door. Okay, so that's the main entrance, the door. So also I need to put some doors here on these rooms. Okay, now I'm going to put some windows. So I'm going to go back to the architecture, click on windows, and I'm going to put windows on the exterior walls only. So by just clicking, so every single room will have a window. This room will have 3 windows. This room will have 1 window. This room has 2 windows, 1 window and 1 window here. Okay, let's put 1 window here as well. Okay, you can always go here and basically change the size of the windows as well. The same, you can do this with the doors as well, but don't worry about this now. Let's have our first structure building first. Okay, now I've done this. If I go to the 3D view, click on the 3D view and hold the shift key down while I'm right click and dragging, I will then be able to basically see the door, the doors inside the house, and basically the hallway. So if I go there, then if the customer says I would like the window to go a bit higher up or lower down, I can use the modify tool, or by using the arrow keys, you will be able to basically reposition your tools. So you click and drag. Alright, so as you can see here, my window reaches to the door here. Let's push this a bit there. And this one is right on the wall. So that's the thing what you don't want to do, is basically put the window where the wall is. Okay. And again, shift and right click and drag. We'll be able to see the house. Okay, so I'm happy with this. The final thing I need to do now here is basically add a roof. So I'm going to click on the top here. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Then I'm going to go to the architecture. Then I'm going to select roof and then select roof for footprint. Now click yes. Now the next thing I need to do is I'm going to click this side of the wall. Now if I click this side of the wall here, and this side of the wall here, and this side of the wall here, this wall, oops, I don't want this wall, let's Control Z. So I want this wall, I want this wall, and this wall. So I have now selected all the exterior walls. Now I have selected all the exterior walls. I can click here, apply, so finish the mode editing, and then attach. Now, if I hold the shift key down and right click on my keyboard, I will be able to see that the roof is been applied onto my building. Now with the roof selected, so this is how it looks like. If I click once by using the modify tool, if I click on the roof now, like I've mentioned before, you can go to the properties panel and you can change the settings, and you can actually put different roofs here available for you. So you can have a play around. So as you can see, when you move out your mouse cursor, make sure you select the right object. So I've selected now the roof. Drop down the list, and basically you can have a glass glazing roof. Okay. So you have glass ceiling. Okay. So this is how easy it is to create a building by using Revit 2021 and basically modify this building in a way that you want or your customer would like. In the next video tutorial, we're going to be talking about pipes and putting basically more structural elements into our building. We also going to be talking more depth about changing the windows, etc., etc. Hope you've learned something new today. I hope you will be able to apply these new skills of yours in order to create something really, really cool. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.